Joining me now, Fox News contributor Deroy Murdock and progressive commentator Rashad Richey. Deroy, let me start with you. Howard Schultz stirring up the Democratic Party pretty good. I think he's hit him harder than any Republican has this week.
He has, and of course they're afraid that if he runs as an independent, he'll peel enough votes away from the Democrats so that Trump gets reelected, so they're not very happy with him. But I think he makes a very good point, which goes counter what the left has been saying, that billionaires are evil, there's some immorality to being a billionaire. Howard Schultz got to be a billionaire by voluntarily taking the money of people who voluntarily gave him money for coffee, for tea, for snacks, and so on. He didn't put a gun to anybody's head. And unless you're something like Bernie Madoff, who stole and defrauded people, you ought to be able to sell whatever you want, and if people buy billions of dollars worth of it and turn you into a billionaire, that's the American way.
You know, Rashad, one of the outbursts yesterday, someone who was at the book tour, the book signing in Manhattan, really upset a lot of Democrats, to Deroy's point, sort of upset that he might sort of deflect potential Democratic voters. But what about the notion also that he might bring a certain level of conservatism, at least fiscal conservative, to the party that seems to be rejecting it right now?
Yeah, I don't buy it. Howard Schultz, billionaire guy who has a remarkable life story, is also an individual who came out swinging on other Democrats, politically speaking, and promoting his book at the same time. I do not think this is the way to go if you want to run for president of the United States. And for those who are concerned about him possibly taking votes away from a Democratic nominee, their concern is proper, Charles, because history tells us Ralph Nader possibly cleared the way for an Al Gore defeat, and also Ross Perot did the same to ensure a Clinton victory. So they are proper in believing that this could potentially upset the flow of ballots in a presidential race.
Rashad, I know you're progressive. What do you say that Howard Schultz saying the Ocasio-Cortez misinformed on American, Kamala Harris not correct, not American? I mean, he's saying that these two women in your party who are moving it further to the left, who become superstars, that essentially what they believe in is un-American.
Yeah, I say somebody needs to check his bank account and see how many Republicans have already contributed to a potential campaign for president. Him coming out and saying that Senator Harris and Congresswoman Cortez are un-American is ridiculous to me. They are diverse in opinion. They may represent extremes. However, they are still part of the American fabric. It is our diversity that makes us who we are in this country, and him calling them un-American, in my opinion, is un-American.
So where do we go from here, Deroy? Because polling shows that taxing the rich, particularly the ultra-rich, is a popular thing, and it goes across political aisles, it goes across geographical areas, it goes across racial barriers. Even people who are doing well still resent those who are making billions.
This is envy, which is a cardinal sin. Again, if people come up with products or services and make a lot of money, and they do so without putting guns to people's heads and forcing them to turn over money, that's a good thing. Jeff Bezos got to be the richest man in the world, not by setting up a crime syndicate, but making it possible for people to buy all sorts of products.
Some people are saying Bezos is a great example. He's the richest man in the world, yet he doesn't really have a lot of people working for him. Like the old robber barons, say what you will, but the Rockefellers and the Carnegie Mellons and all those guys, they had a lot of people working on the railroads. They hired a lot of Americans. These guys hire like a handful of programmers, and they become billionaires. And they say something is skewed with that.
I think you need a lot more people to lay down tracks and run a railroad than you do to operate a website, I suppose. So, I mean, it's just a much more labor-intensive kind of industry back 100 years ago than what we have now. But look at all the convenience this man has brought, not just in terms of products you can buy, but Amazon Prime, the video, movies. He's become one of the biggest forces in Hollywood. And again, he's done so by people voluntarily handing over money to him, and that's a beautiful thing.
So, Rashad, where do we go? I mean, because it feels like right now it feels like that certainly the progressives are taking control of the narrative within the Democratic Party.
Yeah, at this moment, it's a wait-and-see game. I'm not completely convinced that Howard Schultz is not simply selling books. Remember, he started this "I will possibly run for president" tour based on his book tour. So I'm not completely convinced that this is legit. I'm going to sit back and wait for a month or two and see if he's singing the same note. But I don't think his argument is genuine when he says his entire reason for running is basically to stop Trump from getting reelected. I don't buy that argument.
Rashad, Deroy, thank you both very much. Appreciate it.